The chord progressions that we find in the song Holy Spirit are pretty much the same in the intro, verse, and chorus. There's a few slight variations along the way. It's really the bridge, though, that has a slightly different order of the chords. We're going to be looking at 5 different chords that we'll use in this song. Key of G, so we're going to start with that G major chord, and we'll build this with using a G, B, and D. Put those together and you've got a G major, and we're going to be centered right here in this position, this root position, voicing of that. And then it's going to go to a C chord, and we're going to have a bit wider spread on this C chord that we'll do. But again, the basic notes for a C major are your C, E, and G. Okay, let's arrange this a little bit differently and drop it down here, C, E, G, and then we're going to switch up to this first inversion of it. And instead of playing this C up top, we're actually going to, because we're going to have a C in our bass note, we're going to play this D and spread out our fingers a little bit more. So combined, we have a C, maybe it's an octave bass note, and right hand fills in E, G, and a high D. It's a wide sound, and it's nice, and you can jump back and forth to that G chord that we looked at in root position by a bit of a movement of your fingers over there. Okay? Then our next chord is going to be an A minor. Now, the A minor that we will use is going to be voiced a little bit uniquely. To make an A minor, normally you have an A, a C, and then an E with that 7th, the G up above. How we're going to voice this out in the song most often is going to actually be A in your bass note there, and then a G right here. There's the C, and we're going to keep and add a D note actually in this voicing, and it adds some color. It's like we're adding a 4th within this A minor 7, rearranging it quite a lot from what looks like a normal A minor 7. But you'll notice that I'm very close to that G major position. So by changing it to what looks like a G sus in my right hand, and the A bass note, you got a very colorful variation on this A minor 7. So go from a G, practice it a few times here, G, and then up to an A minor 7 as we're going to do it. Simple movement to get there that way, and it's nice and easy. Another one that we'll do is a G over B. So that's playing a G major chord in your right hand with now a B in the bass in the left hand note, G over B. We're going to use this here in the bridge specifically as it walks down from a C2 to a G over B, and then that A minor. And that's probably the simplest way to move up and down these chords, G over B again to a C2. How we're going to voice this out in a big way, just to bring like a bigger lift dynamically, is we're going to spread out for that C2, a C in the bass note, G, C, and then a high G. So you can hold that out, and then you're moving an inner finger, that first one, to this position of a G over B. So B in my bass, and then G, B, and another high G. And then you can come back up with your right hand finger to that C, but move the bass down to an A, and you're playing a variation on an A minor 7. Don't let this confuse you from what I just showed you before of the simple root position of these chords. That works as well. This would be a little more of a higher dynamic if you wanted to kind of punch through the sound a little bit on a C to G over B, and then a A minor 7, and then go back to G over B. It's just walking back and forth between these 3 chords, and you can build up a lot of energy by this type of a voicing. Okay, there's our chords that we'll use in the song Holy Spirit, and work on transitioning from those positions one to another. Take a moment to stop the video and practice those until you feel very confident on moving smoothly from those positions one to another.